Hey, everybody, and happy Monday. Welcome to another SideKick Power Hour. If you are joining us for the first time, I am Joshua R. Pangborn, and I am thrilled to have you here tonight. We're in the midst of a bunch of holidays, so happy holidays, everybody. I hope you've all been doing well, and I hope you continue to do well. And welcome to the last Monday of 2024. We have a lot of things that happened this year, and that's both personally and worldwide. And there's a lot to think back on and reflect as we move into the celebration that is New Year's Eve tomorrow. I am going to also have tons of stuff going on in 2025, and I can't wait to do all of them. It seems like every day this past week and a half has been like a new project and a new thing that has developed over the course of the day. Believe it or not, I am, and this is the surprise tea that you'll hear right now. Sidekick Productions is one of five production companies which is collaborating to produce our first audio fiction podcast in 2025. So we will be doing an audio fiction podcast called Moose on a Highway, and I am very excited to bring it to you. It's something that me and a few people I met at the New Jersey Web Fest have all been working on together, and you can find us on Facebook right now. We are in the midst of pre-production and all, and we'll be recording and hopefully releasing some episodes by September. Actually, is the goal. We're hoping to premiere in September. So, yeah, I never thought I'd be making a podcast, but after working with so many people who work in the podcast world and celebrating with them and seeing all their wins, it's something that how could I say no when people ask me to jump on board with that? So, yeah, I have done that. And then if you saw my Instagram reel, I posted about starting to write a new project, but well, not really a new project, the sixth season of an old project. So if you know, you know what that probably means. We will see how that goes. I am taking it slowly and letting the story develop. And if it comes out, it comes out. And if it doesn't, well, we'll see what happens. Josh is very good at making things happen, though, when he wants them to happen. So it will probably happen. And also, in the meantime, this past week and a half, I've been very, very lucky not to have to be at my day job. So I've been working hard on editing The Art of Blowing at season two, getting back to the Edward Chronicles, Skeleton Crew spinoff. And if you're on Patreon, then you know that on Patreon, you have already seen the release of the next episode of Demon Doctor Season 2. So go to patreon.com/sidekick productions and you can watch the newest episode of Demon Doctor. And they will be coming out weekly on Patreon for the next 5 weeks because we have 5 more episodes left of Season 2 and they are all finished and ready to go. And I'm so excited for you to see them because I know everyone's been very anxious about that. So yeah, go and check those out. I'm really excited for you to see that. And then, of course, February 22nd is very, very close. And February 22nd is when we are going to be making the next feature film in the world of Sidekick Productions, and that is The Contract. Most of you have hopefully heard me talk about it before, but if you haven't, The Contract is coming out who knows when, but we're going to be filming it February 22nd. And it's going to be the kinkiest, queerest, most erotic gothic horror film that we've ever made at Sidekick Productions, and I'm really excited for it. Some costumes arrived today. I tried them on. It's some very slinky outfits that you'll see me in, and a few other people. So if that's your thing, look forward to it. We will be launching a second round of our Indiegogo for this probably in a few days because unfortunately we did not meet our goal. And while I'm very, very grateful to everyone who has supported us and has gotten us much farther to getting to where we can do actually the production, there's a lot that we'll need to do for post-production and still for production that we need your help on. So I'll be announcing that very soon. We'll also be doing the official cast reveals for our show, the film as well. So that's going to be fun. And then don't forget, you can still get Homophobias, which is my fun collection of short stories. If you like queer, fat positive short fiction, well, that is the book for you. And we are in the midst of preparing some special surprises for you that will come out around the anniversary, which is in September on Saturday, September 13th next year. But It was born on Friday, September 13th, because that's me. I have to do that. Um, I'm glad, Beto, that you're excited for Demon Doctor. I hope that you will watch it as soon as you can, because it's a really fun season, and I think you'll really enjoy it when you get a chance to see what's been going on with your favorite characters. And yes, sixth season of our beloved show. Well, that's the thing that we will see how that happens. But in the meantime, I'm excited to see we've got some wonderful people in the audience. We've got Big Daddy Karsten here. I wonder why he has tuned in. It's very curious on my part. I have no idea. Hi, Thomas. It's wonderful to see you as well. But my guess is that you're all here because of my special guest tonight. My special guest is someone I've had on the show a few times, and always love to see his smiling face. He is one of my favorite people, and has inspired me to do as kinky and queer as I can with the contract because of how much he embraces that and his own work. And I think it's wonderful to see. So I'm going to bring him in right now. Everyone, please welcome Bryce Quartz.
Hello. I can't believe you're inspired by me. I'm inspired by you and your work ethic.
Well, that's what we do. We have to inspire each other. That's how it works, I think. But
Sure.
you put yourself in um, don't want to say amazing positions, but you put yourself in amazing positions for your art, and it's very inspiring to see that, and makes me want to bring that into film as well because I think that that's the kind of thing we need to have in the world of queer media is authentic and this is all going to sound very sexual when I say it, but authentic, raw, queer film making is important. I think so.
Raw is fun,
That's everyone loves a good raw film. I think so.
Yes, yes.
But I'm having you on for a number of reasons. One, because you're one of my favorite people, but two, you had something just big and exciting happen, didn't you?
Yeah, I just put out the final chapter of the sex tape, which is the EP I dropped this year, and over the last year some singles. But I just put out 6 remixes of all of them, and it's kind of like the closing chapter of this era for me, as far as this whole project goes. I really love all the remixes. I think there's a different vibe for everyone. And I some of the remixes really made me you have to understand, I'm sure because when you work on film and TV shows, you're probably like, when it comes out, you're like, God, I don't want to see this anymore. Like, seen this a lot. I'm like that with my music. So by the time all these songs came out, I would like Come Pirate and Daddy Dick and Sodomite. I'm like, dear God, I don't want to hear these songs again. But hearing some of the remixes actually made me be like, oh, okay, I'm a good writer. This is nice. I like this. It kind of put a nice spin on it. So I'm very thankful for everyone who remixed for me. I think I pressured the hell out of them for a long time. So it's kind of like I have someone who remixed a song from Canada, Chris O'Neill. Buzz William remixed Sodomite. He's from Australia, which is awesome. And he used to do a lot of remixes for like clubs down in Australia. He did a lot of hard style events, which is crazy. And then I also had Bias Selector. They're a part of our bear community as well. They make some awesome music, awesome tracks. It's they like incorporate such like awesome industrial sounds into their music that like I feel like it'd be great. Some of their music is great for orgies if you're really into like hardcore shit, like, but also some of it is just good if you're listening to it on the bus and you're into that kind of shit. It's awesome. And then my furry friend Black Magic, I tweeted, we became friends over the summer because we both like this one rapper Tia Corinne, and I saw him comment under it, and he put like a picture of his pup mask under. This is like a mainstream rapper, and he comments under, and was like, I don't even remember what the tweet was, but I'm like, oh, he's kind of cute and hot, and I like the pup mask. Turns out he makes music. He produces. So we became friends on Twitter. So then one day I just randomly tweeted, it'd be so cool if I had a remix to any of my songs and like this specific style, which is it's called Plug and B, and it's kind of like a trap R&B, like weird niche remix genre. It's really niche, but I love it. And he's like, I got you. And literally an hour later, he sends me some of these remixes, and I'm like, how did you do that? So that's how I met him. And he's a furry, and I will stand by my furry friends because they're awesome and they're adjacent to our community.
The furry community is
And
lovely usually. Some of the most some of the loveliest people are from the furry community. They're
yeah,
very
very
supportive and loving and very community based, which is really important.
yes. I love him. He's awesome. He's hot. His boyfriend is really cute, and his boyfriend raps too. Very amazing rapper. Insane amount of energy. I'm like, I need to show up to these furry conventions that just pop out. Let me just pop out real quick. But
You should. That's it. I mean, you have a lot of energy yourself. I've seen you perform in person, so
it would
you
be
are
fun, be interesting for sure.
now, Bryce. I am not a musician, and some of our audience might not be musicians. So when I know the basic concept behind a remix, but what do you mean when you say you put out a remix? What is that?
I mean, there's two different things with like hip hop remixes. I will say Carson, he's here, he's watching. He's probably there's a difference, right? So like I feel like a remix, if you're doing it with the original instrumental, which is this is what Carson taught me. If you're doing a remix with the original instrumental, as a main artist, I would want to change a verse. Maybe not change the hook. If I did, maybe slightly, but as far as like a hip hop remix with the original instrumental, I feel like it's important for, the artist, the main artist, to add like another feature. You add a feature or two so they add some flavor to the song, but then you also, like, as a main artist, want to write a whole new verse to give a new spin on it. But the remixes that I just put out are just straight up instrumental remixes, so
Mhm.
all the lyrics are the same. It's just maybe it's organized slightly differently and the instrumental just sounds completely different. So like the whole original ep is like very hardcore hip hop, adjacent to like the niche hip hop genre trap metal, very adjacent to that. But all these remixes are like club remixes or like R&B hip hop remix. Like it's like very different. The remixes that I put out, it's just you're just changing, something. And hip hop is different though. I feel like when people do remixes, well, Charlie XCX, she's a good example. She just when she put out all her remixes for Brat, I don't know whoever listened to it. If you know, she changed a lot of her lyrics, honestly, on the remixes, and a lot of the instrumental has changed as well. So I think that's really cool that she did that because I feel like a lot of pop artists don't usually change much on a remix. They just add a feature and they're like, "Oh, look, a remix."
Mhm.
So yeah,
I know,
that's
and I know what you're saying. Just to go back, because I, you probably do this with your songs like I do. Because I've seen them so much. There are times where I'll watch one of my movies and I'll be like, "This is amazing! I love it." And then there are times I watch it and I'm like, "This is the worst thing I've ever made. What is this? I hate it so much. How is anyone even watching this right now?" And it always happens when I'm in an audience with people. Like, well, because I just went to Providence for a Taste of Youth, and I showed it there, and everyone seemed to like it, but I'm watching the whole time and I'm going, "Oh, there are so many mistakes here." I'm just like, "Oh, why? This movie is terrible. Everyone must hate it. I need to leave before they even finish the movie." So I didn't. I
well.
stayed, and everybody loved it. But I mean,
You brought it up. I want to talk about A Taste of Youth because shout out to you for having me make a little cameo in it. I thought it was so funny that you even gave me credits as selfie taking guy. Uh,
and you did it perfectly, and you were doing it at the right time in the movie because they were talking about taking selfies, and you're in the background just taking selfies.
it was funny, but I feel like whenever I came to watch that movie, and when it came to the premiere, I really thoroughly enjoyed it. I thought the sound design was awesome, so and the editing was great. And there were a lot of angles as far as like transitioning and with the camera. I thought that was awesome because I really kind of I like to pay attention to those details,
Mhm.
like in any movie. But this movie, especially with I think the way it was screenwritten and with the acting, it kind of made me like I felt like I was in the movie, like it really brought me into the space. And the only time I think I was outside of that space was like when I remembered in the back of my head that you're like right behind me, and I'm like, oh yeah, you made this movie, and you're probably watching it like, oh, what did I do? Like, what I should have edited this. Like, I'm like thinking in my head of you as a creator, but I think most of the time in the movie I was really like wow, like this is like I was really inside of the scenes, it felt like, in a lot of the moments. And I also love how much there was so many different topics and like underlying themes that you touched on that impact our community, and especially the main underlying theme of like you know, how gay people or queer people, how we perceive ourselves as we get older, and
Hmm.
different themes that go into that. And because I am dating an older man, I kind of see some of those things as well, as far as like how we perceive ourselves as we get older. I know I'm only 26. I'm just saying that I kind of like understood a lot of it because it makes sense. And then you also touched on the movie, you know, uh, not even just age, but different ways that queer people we how we perceive ourselves and how we want to be perceived. I just thought it was very, you know, introspective, and from a surface level, maybe some people might not see that right away, but I think a lot of us who are, you know, in the community, I think it's very obvious like what these themes are. I will say by the end of it, I was terrified. The makeup
Good,
was
fabulous.
scary. But
Paul's
I
an
loved
amazing
it.
makeup artist, so.
It was awesome though. I really liked that movie, and I hope that I can get like a VHS tape of it.
Well, you'll probably get a Blu-ray copy if you wanted one.
Okay, I'll buy it. Just
I don't
tell
know if
me.
I'll do
Send
a
me the link.
VHS. That might be something I'm not. Might be too expensive actually to make a VHS, but you never know.
Well, look,
Um,
I'm looking into making VHSs, so let's talk.
oh, well, there we go. All right then. Um, but honestly, I think that's something that you and I both do that with our respective art that that maybe other people wouldn't understand is I think that we make art for the community that we live in, that we exist as part of. And we want other people outside of it to consume it, and we want people to love it. But at the same time, the music from Sex Tape and the movies that I make are they're for an inherently queer and traditionally I think queer male presenting perspective, and they're for those audiences, and they're going to mean something very different to those audiences than they do to pretty much anybody else. But there's still stuff you can get from them that I think a mainstream audience would should try to learn from and everything.
One of my favorite things too about the premiere was that you had people from the festival that were also watching it or who had already seen it, and some of the people in the audience that asked questions to you at the end. I really thought it was interesting, like the kinds of questions they were asking that
Hmm.
made us and in the community were like, we already got that, but they were interested, and you know, you had them really like dive into the deeper details. So I thought it was really interesting to see like how they were perceiving it. And in some of the parts in the movie that were a little, you know, sexy and hot, I'm like, I wonder how these straight people are perceiving it around me. Like, I love that. Like, I want to know how they feel.
No, it's very nerve-wracking sometimes to do that for an audience where it's not a queer audience. When I go to festivals with Skeleton Crew or with one of our short films or even one of our with Brooklyn Butcher or Taste of Youth, I'm like, what are they gonna say for this like 6 minute scene where we're half naked and simulating lots of gay sex? I don't understand what they're gonna react to. And most of the time, they don't know how to react. I had a play that I did many years ago called Babysitting, and it was a short play, uh, but it was a play about adult babies, and
Oh yeah.
it was very much this woman in the audience because I had them on stage. I had the guy regress, and he put his diaper on him and everything, and this woman in the audience was like, oh no, he is not. And I'm like, well, that is a reaction I expected to get, so it happened.
If
But
you're anything like me though, I feel like for me with my music at least, I really want like non-gay people to like hear my music, and I love seeing their reactions like because I know that it's like outlandish and not for them, like, right? So they see it on a perspective almost in a similar way when you and I go and see a movie and there's a crazy straight sex scene that maybe makes us a little uncomfortable. And I think sex in general on screen can in any scenario can kind of be uncomfortable, but you know, it kind of puts them into our shoes in a way.
Mhm.
And I love that. And part of me, with the reason I make the crazy stuff and rap about the crazy stuff I make, is I kind of love to push the boundary of like, listen, hip hop is very gay and sexy, and I'm also not the first one to do this, by the way. I'm not saying I'm paving any road at all, but I think that's what makes like gay rap or queer people that rap about our realities very fun and very important. It kind of forces our listeners to, you know, be like, all right, well, this is what rap would be like if it was very gay. And I think it's just hilarious. Personally, I just laugh. I love to see, it's cathartic for me. I'm like,
Mhm.
I am shoving it down your throat, bitch, and I'm shoving it down his too on camera. So take that, you know?
Literally in some of the music videos I've seen, so
Music videos were a journey. Yes, they were fun for sure.
But no, I think that's I've had people tell me that I actually I'm curious if you have. I've had people tell me that I should focus on making art that's maybe more mainstream and give people a chance to consume what I'm doing, but in a way that's less for an overtly queer audience. If I want, have you had that sort of response?
I've had that from strangers and from peers. I'm not gonna name names, and I see it as like a way of like some of my peers that have said that to me. I think they see that I have like, you know, this like gift or this talent that I can do what I do and I can rap, or I have this skill set, right? And they want to see me go further. Um, and they want to see me reach broader audiences, which I completely understand. And I also appreciate like the sentiment of like, oh, I want you to go further than you're going now instead of pigeonholing yourself. But to me, I also see it as like, fuck you, I kind of know exactly what I'm doing, and I know the trajectory I'm on. Like I understand that this isn't for everyone, and I understand that this might prevent me from opportunities in a mainstream audience in the future, or it might cut this bridge, right? Like I totally get that, but I think for me, I really just wanted to push boundaries to begin with. Like with the music videos, you know, I personally, I haven't, I could be wrong, but I don't think I've ever seen anyone do like a hip hop music video with porn in it and it's very gay. Like like a real one, not just like where you're editing in porn. Like my actual music video sets were porn scenes. Like we filmed it and set it up like an actual porn, and we are actually fucking. So it's like I felt like I wanted to do that for a multitude of reasons to kind of like push that boundary of like, this is a huge part of our community. Porn is a huge thing, and it's, you know, there are dozens and dozens, hundreds of people that have a huge following because they show ass or dick or hole. You know what I'm saying? Like it's like a whole thing. And I was already doing a little like a little bit of porn before all of this, but I wanted to combine that. You know, I wanted to combine my music with that and see where it went, you know?
I mean I feel the same way. I think that I think if I'm going to make it, I want to make it because I'm being true to my voice, and I think that because I'm true to my voice, I'll make it. Um, there's a thousand queer people out there making movies or making music, but if you're not, but no one is doing it the way you are doing it or the way that I'm doing it, and I think that that's how we either stand out or um we'll be noticed. We just won't be necessarily noticed for the reasons we want. But who knows? Maybe we will be. Maybe people will go, this is something I've never seen before." And I constantly, well, constantly. I've only seen the movie for 3 months. But I point to movies like The Substance,
I
where
haven't watched it. Don't spoil it.
well, I won't spoil it, but I will say that this is a movie that clearly was made by somebody who has a vision, clear vision, and wanted to stay true to their word and their point of view. And the production company that was making it, apparently, based on the rumors I've read online, they wanted the ending to be changed because they didn't think it made any they worked for the movie or it made any sense. and the director, she didn't want that. She refused. So the production company, or the distribution company, I'm sorry, sold it to somebody else because they didn't want it. And that person who bought it, that company has made a lot of money now because this person, the director of The Substance, stayed true to her vision and made a movie that was resonating with people in a way that was extremely bizarre and strange, but offered something that was no one else has been making. I've never seen a movie like The Substance before. Um,
I want to
in
see
some
it
of the ways
so
that it's
bad.
made. You should see it.
It's on my list. It's on my list. I've been
All you have to
watching a
do
lot
is
of.
go and get a month subscription to Mubi, Mubi. It's a free subscription for a month, and you go and you watch it. It's super
It's on
easy.
my list. I literally was gonna watch it on Christmas Eve, but I ended up watching Smile 2, and I ruined my life with that. Terrifying.
Smile 2 had some amazing performances in it. So I can understand why that would be a rough movie to watch.
I loved it. I loved it. Like I had to actually stop watching it halfway through because I was so terrified. I would watch it alone, so it was a great time.
I'm glad I watched it because the performances were spectacular. They really were. Even down to the supporting cast, even down to the boyfriend who didn't even have any lines, I think, in the movie. So
Well, it was a lot.
he was
I
apparently
think.
Jack Nicholson's son. I didn't even know that he was Jack Nicholson's son.
Oh wow, I didn't know that either. I have trauma from that movie, so we should move on because that like scared the shit out of me.
Fair enough. But other movies that do things like that, though, Cuckoo is another movie that came out this year that stayed true to its vision. Strange Darling. So I mean, these are all movies that I think if you want to be an artist who you can't make movies for everyone because you have to make movies that are true to their vision or the story or the songs or things like that. So
I really think that's something I've had to learn too since I moved to New York. Is like for a moment there when I went viral, like with one video, and it kind of changed the course of how I make music and the path that I went down. I kind of got a taste of that success, right? And it really changed the way I viewed myself, which was very good. It gave me a lot of confidence, which I really needed. But it also made me take things more seriously. And then, but over time, especially now that I have all these health issues, like I've had to take a step back from my life, and I've, over the past few months, after from what I've been dealing with, I've had a lot to think about and self-reflect on. And something that I want you to understand, I'm very proud of this body of work. Like I've spent a lot of money and time, and a lot of people have helped me with it and supported me along the way. Like Richard from Bear World Magazine, Bear Magazine, you've supported me. Cockeye King has supported me. And a bunch, just so many people with production, and I'm very proud of it, yes, but I think like for a while there, I was just so like business oriented about everything that it took a lot of the joy out of it for me for a
mhm.
long time. Like I will say, like, yes, filming poor music videos, it looks like so much fun. And I won't lie, when I was like getting fucked, sure, it was hot. Like, yeah, I enjoyed it in those moments, but and a lot of the time in the videos I'm in my head like, do I look okay, like what's gonna happen, is this a good shot, like, and then those were like 6 or 7 to 8 hour shoots, so like I don't want to do that again because it was.
I'm just gonna jump in for 1 second and add
Yeah.
reinforce what Bryce is saying. Sex scenes are not sexy scenes to make. They're not fun because you're constantly worried about how everything looks and sounds and reacts because the camera picks up everything. So any sort of weird facial thing you do, or and this is just coming from somebody who does simulated sex scenes in movies, let alone what Bryce is talking about with some of his music videos. So I totally get what you're talking about. It is uh it's a lot of fun to perform, but at the same time, especially if you are the driving creative force behind it, it is a very small component of everything else that's going on at the moment, and you don't have time to really relish the experience that you're having.
Yeah, and like I'm not gonna sit here and lie though. Like the for me with the daddy dick video, like I had so much fun filming that sex scene that I think after the fact I was more worried because in the moment I was like, fuck yeah, this is hot. but and it was like that with the Compire video too, but it's just a lot of work, honestly. And with the health issues I'm dealing with, like I don't even think I could physically, like thinking of it now, I'm like I don't even know how I did that. Like cuz I filmed the daddy dick video. Actually, I'm just going to lay it out there, okay? So I just try to do a long story short for those of you that don't know. I had a hernia repair surgery in April. It took me like 6 weeks to recover. I honestly didn't really feel great until like the end of May. I filmed that daddy dick video in June, like middle of June. And by July 4th, like that weekend or whatever, I started having chronic pain. And I've been having worse and worse chronic pain since, to where I was out of work. I walk with a cane now. And it's been really, really hard, honestly. It's been the hardest thing I've ever been through. And with that said, though, I think it's so funny that I had that 1 month of like freedom, and somehow I filmed one of the craziest videos like I've ever made or created ever. And I actually joke with myself. I'm like, is that why I have pain? Like, no, it's not. But
No, of course not.
it's just really funny because like I think people have even said that to me. Like, maybe you just took too much dick, and I'm like, I wish that was the reason. That would be sick. But I'm proud of that, and as I've been reflecting this year, I've been able to look back on like the 4 or 5 months that I've had of like no pain, and I really did a lot, and I'm proud of that. I'm proud of the work that I put out even through this insanely difficult period of my life, where I've there a lot of I'll be honest, a lot of the time the last several months, like I've had zero to little hope that I'll ever get better. Like it's been really, really rough. Um, and I just, I've had to go through a lot of therapy, and I'm not saying I'm any better now. I am better, but I'm just, it's just a lot, right? Like it's a lot
Chronic
of
pain is,
pressure.
is chronic pain is really, really, it's it's hard because a lot of times it's invisible, and a lot of times people don't know that you're going through it, and a lot of times there's nothing you can do to relieve it. And uh, there's I am not nearly where you're at, but I mean, ever since I fell down the stairs, a flight of stairs a year ago, I'm not the same, and I'm in. There are days where I'm in a lot of pain, and I can't do anything about it because there's nothing to do about it. It's just
Oh my God.
pain. So I totally understand what you're talking about, and I'm glad that you're um, able to address it and be open about it, because I think more people need to hear it and need to hear about the way that people try to get through day to day life. Sometimes it's really hard.
It's also really just changed my perspective on like how people treat you as well. And I think, and for me personally, it's given me a chance to really look around me and see who really cares about me and values me in their life. Um, and whether that be through donating to my GoFundMe when I was posting that, or just reaching out, sending me DMs or memes, like those things go so far when you're at like a low point, and like it still goes so far for me. And I have to say, I'm actually a horrible friend because of what I'm dealing with. I feel like I've been a horrible friend because I don't really reach out to many people, and I don't really like respond very often because I feel like when I'm in so much pain, I don't want to bring anyone down. Like I'm not trying to just talk about the same old shit you already know what I'm going through. So I've honestly been kind of disconnected a lot, and just playing video games and watching TV and trying to get through life. And that's kind of it's been, I think the hardest thing for me has been putting the music on the back burner.
Hmm.
Like I felt for a while that I had to like stop doing this, and that I would never do it again. And I think one of my good friends, Jesse, he's dealt with chronic pain as well. He's also a rapper, Jesse Paradise. He was telling me that it's not that it's the end, it's that I'll find a way around it, and I'll
Hmm.
find ways to continue doing what I love despite what I'm going through. And that's been one of the hardest things coping with, is if this is forever, how do I manage that, right?
Hmm.
Well, when I'm literally trying to go step by step, it's not even a day by day, hour by hour thing for me. Most days it really is like, can I even get out of bed today? But I have hope that I can keep going, and I do have I haven't updated everyone, but I do have a surgery. I got approved for it. I'll have it in late February. They're gonna like go in and cut me open all kinds of ways, and hopefully after that I'll be all better. And it is kind of like a risky surgery, but I'm really praying and hoping that this works because I can't end my career on the sex tape. All right, like I have a lot of music and a
Sex tapes are
lot.
supposed to start careers, not end them. So
Exactly. Like, and I think this has really given me a lot of perspective on, my not just the music, but my life in general and my friends and my family um and it, I have a lot to say, you know what I mean? Like I can't say I'll never rap about sex again because obviously like I have a lot of it that's not out that's about sex and I want to put it out. But I think because of the life experience I've been put through all of this shit and since I moved to New York, like I have a lot to say, and I think that will give me, the music will give me an outlet to really share that with the world. So I'm hoping like when I'm ready for it, I'll start writing about these experiences. It's just right now I'm just trying to survive, So it's really just about I'm trying not to really focus on the music. And that's kind of the whole reason I put this remix EP out before the end of the year because I really want to close this chapter for 2025. Like I want to go into 2025 and be like I did all of that in 2024, right? Like it's done and I can focus on now so that I can focus on the future.
mhm.
It wasn't like something the way I wanted to put it out, but that's just how life is and it needed to be done. I'm tired of like thinking about it. Like it's just and I love it. I love this music. So I'm excited that it's like on all platforms. And I'm just ready to move on. I'll probably go quiet for a while, but I will come back with a vengeance. It's not the end of the Cum Pirate. Okay, I have more to say and more to make you laugh about.
I think that's great. I think that's really awesome because we want to hear about it because you're clearly very talented. Even if the songs that you have made that you've released are not everyone's cup of tea, they're very well done. So uh, I think anyone can see that, even if they're not into Daddy Dick, they can still see that Daddy Dick is a good song. So
I appreciate it. I made some new friends on PS5. I've been playing a lot of Fallout 76. One of my buddies that on there, I told them about my music, and he's a straight guy. Like he's like a bro, and he went and listened to my music and he's like, I can appreciate what you're doing. And like I can see why like you like doing this and I appreciate like the skill set and the talent you have. Like it might not be for me, but like this is kind of cool that you do this. Like and then we just go back to killing things. Like it's awesome.
as you
So
do, I mean that's you talk about Daddy Dick and then you kill some things. So
exactly.
um, Uh, you worked with somebody who I'm gonna be working with on the next movie. I don't think you know this, or maybe you do.
I
I'm gonna be
do.
working with Cockeyed Kink on this next
Yes, I
film.
saw. You're
So
lucky. He's awesome. He's like he makes the coolest gear ever. Like
I know he's making some. So for everyone who doesn't know, Cockeyed Kink, who will be a future guest on the show, he is an amazing. They're the pair of them are an amazing group of leather creators who make some really amazing gear, specifically for our community, and they're very often made to order size pieces. So they're very size inclusive and very positive, body positive in many ways. And they made a wonderful harness for Bryce that he used in both his music videos.
two
Um,
harnesses.
they made two harnesses for you. They made you a Compire and a Daddy Dick one, didn't they?
I
So
haven't been able to show off the daddy dick one as much, but I mean, it's
soon.
honestly like the coolest thing I think I've ever had made for me. And every time that I put it on, it makes me feel like so confident and like sexy. And like, I think like, the one of the guys who I'm connected with Lukakai, he's just so sweet and he's sexy, first of all. Second of all, he's just like seriously a genuine awesome guy. Like I feel lucky that I even know him, right? Like so I think it's like really cool that he's working with you because like what he's doing for you, he's doing it because he really like appreciates what you do and believes in it. And I know that because that's what, how he works with me. Like I don't think he would work with people that he doesn't really like and appreciate what they do. And he does a lot for charity too. Like he's just such a nice guy. Like um I really look up to him a lot, honestly. Like and I feel a little guilty. I know he's not mad at me or nothing. It's just like I wanted to do so much more with this leather, and I hope that I can get better so I can keep showing off this sexy gear. Like I want to wear it everywhere, it's just
Well, I'm
hot.
sure you will because you look great in it, first of all, and it looks great on you. So he's very talented. Both the pair of them are very talented.
I want
Um,
to see what they make for you. I want to see.
I am very excited what they're making for us. So, uh, and I think that he does. Cockeyed King does a lot of what I think is important for you and me, which is about creating a place for the community and creating pieces and art for the community and making it for other people, but again, making it for the community, which I think is the theme of this week's episode.
Yes, yes.
Because I think that because I mean, if you think about like you talk about things in your songs and I talk about things in the movie, like with the Taste of Youth. I just talk about Growler and I don't explain what it is. I don't say what it is or anything like that. I just say Growler and the audience has to either get context that it's an app that people hook up on or they don't and they just move on to the next scene. But it's I think it's important to do stuff that is just without sitting there and explaining everything to everyone all the time.
Yeah. I mean, Michelle Visage, she brought up Growler on RuPaul's Drag Race, so it's
When
mainstream
did she
now.
bring when did she bring that up?
She brought it up around. I think I can't remember who it was, but someone on the show dressed as like they had a bear adjacent thing, or it was bear related.
How did I
And
not hear that? I watched like every episode.
it was like a split second, but I was like, not Michelle Visage's on Growler. I could see her be.
I could see her. She's a definite mama bear, so I can see that. So,
I was like, not Growler being mainstream. That's crazy. Wow.
and I can see some of those queens are probably on Growler too, out of
Well,
drag.
they are. They are. I won't name them, but
Oh, you know firsthand then. So
yeah,
you
I know a
going
few.
on the tea.
I won't name
Um,
them.
so I know you've talked a lot about this is the end of this chapter of you musically. Do you know what you want the next chapter to be, or
I
are
have
you
a
still
whole,
thinking that?
I have a whole plan. I mean, I think my goal right now is obviously to get better, right? But I have so much music and so many different like sounds that I've already created songs for, or I've written and already made demos for that like for a while there I kind of stopped making new songs because it literally physically hurt my brain to like think about how much money I needed to invest and put on all these things. One
These
thing
things are
Carson
expensive.
it is, but one thing Carson taught me was, he told me for his debut album in Norwegian, he wrote like I think he said like 40 or 50 songs and only like 13 of them ended up on the final release. And a lot of that has to do with like when you have a vision, you want to create all these things and you want to put
Mhm,
out everything because you love, it's like you love everything that you make. At least I did for a long time. Like I love this. Everything has to come out. But he kind of taught me that like honing in on the exact themes. Like there were actually a few songs cut from the sex tape that I just never invested time and money into. There's at
mhm,
least 6 or 7 of them. Um, but I ended up, trying to make the sound exactly what I wanted it to be. And
mhm.
that's like why I cut it down to 5 songs. But the next project is actually I'm excited for it because it's more campy than it's not really hardcore at all. Maybe sexual lyrics wise, but it's very campy and I think it's just fun and funny. Um, very camp though. It's just I don't know. Imagine like I'll kind of give you like a hint on what it is. Imagine you walk into the mall in the '90s and you're going cruising in the bathroom, or you're at a fucking Sears. You're cruising in a Sears. You know what I mean?
You're too
Or
young to know about any of that
I
stuff.
know I was born in '98, but I'm trying to like I'm taking a lot of I have all the instrumentals. They're already paid for, but I have all like it's very liminal space, right? Like
Mhm.
that's like I'm obsessed with liminal spaces. I'm excited for that A24 movie. The Backrooms come out from that guy. I don't know if you know anything about it, but from Kane Pixels. I'm excited for that movie, right? But I
Mhm.
really wanted to take that imagery of like liminal spaces of
Mhm.
something that you maybe like it's vaguely familiar, right? Like
Yeah.
it's and I wanted to take that sound, of a liminal space, like through a soundscape, and kind of bring the sexual vibes to it to kind of like, I don't know. I think a lot of gay people, my age and even younger, don't really understand the kind of the history of where our community came from, and a lot of it has to do with cruising, and a lot of it has to do with going to like booths or meeting people in public. There weren't apps, you know what I mean? And uh, I don't know. I just think it's really kind of interesting to combine that into music. It's kind of it sounds like a complicated concept when it's really just campy and
No,
fun.
I
And
love it. I think it's very it's the next evolution I think of what you of sex tape, which is using some of what you've done but moving on to another phase of it. So um I
it'll
love
be
it.
interesting. And Carson is on it, and Nakia, they're on it. I'll go ahead and throw that out there. They're
Well,
both
I know that they're
featured.
both very talented. I didn't know Nakia could rap though.
He's not rapping; he's singing. So it'll
I
be
know. I didn't
very.
think Nakia was rapping on the album.
But that's the thing. That's why I think it's so interesting because I have him on a song that sounds very like '80s, early '90s ish, like R
Which
and
is super
B.
big what he's doing right now too. His all his songs that he's putting out are super like new wavy 80s kind of things. So
This will definitely be a little different, but I don't know if you know that meme of Mike Wazowski like singing, like in like with a spotlight on him, and
oh
he's
yeah, yeah,
just
yeah,
like,
yes, 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 yeah.
I kind of imagine Nakia doing his part like this, like that, like that's how I see him in this song.
I
So,
love it. That
but
he would eat that up, I think. So
I'm excited for it. I just right now I just got to get better, and then I'll start funding it. I just most of the lyrics are already written, and it's just about going to the studio and figuring out how to roll it out. So.
totally.
Um,
But I'm glad that you have the next thing that you're doing, and I can't wait to hear it. So
And I have some New York drill. Just gonna throw that out there. I do already have a lot of New York drill, very hardcore, not even about sex. Sorry, y'all. Sorry there's no sex, but I really love New York drill. It's like it makes my heart race thinking about like the songs that I love in that. So something very close to me as a growing as a rapper. So, I already have a photo shoot done with that too. I don't know when I'm gonna put that out either. I have to go to the studio for it, but that's a whole separate thing. We'll see what comes out. It'll come out when it comes out.
well, that's pretty awesome. But yeah, don't rush it. I mean, it'll come out when you're ready for it to come out. So
I have a
when
lot
you're
of Fallout 76 to play. I have a lot of video games to play.
don't we all? I mean, I've never played it, but I'm sure that there's a lot to play of it. So
And I have a lot of movies to watch from you. And shows and seasons. Demon Doctor, and
you have a lot to catch up on because eventually you're gonna finally audition for me and do something with me.
yes, I need
So
to. I think about it often. I'm like, how would I be on camera? I need to like start. I need to watch some YouTube videos how to act.
I think you'd be fine on camera. You're very natural. You have a very natural, smooth personality. So
Oh, I just want to die though? Can you kill me in a movie? That'd be sick.
I mean, most of the things I make are horror. So absolutely, that's pretty straightforward and
I
easy.
would love that. That'd be sick.
Um, it's a lot of fun to die on screen as long as you can be convincing about it. So I think we could. I think it would be fun to do some sort of death scene for you, though. Yes, we'll have to figure that out. I think we can make that happen, though.
Yes, please. Yes. Yeah, can you have Nakia kill me? That'd be sick.
Uh, I'll have to figure that out. It's not impossible. Maybe
Or
we'll
you,
do.
or you can kill me. Or honestly, anyone could kill me. I'm just,
I've
just.
never been a killer before. We'll have to see what that could be fun for me. I always love to play new roles and everything. So
I'm just messing around with you. Sorry, I just think it's funny.
no, it's always good to hear what people want, so I can sort of shape characters around them, and it's important to have that ability. When I'm making it happen, I can work around people who have dreams and desires and skill sets, as long as it fulfills the story. So
We need to get Carson to have a cameo someday too. We need to
I
whatever.
thought I thought Carson was coming to New York, and I was going to meet him. I don't know what happened
We'll
there.
get we'll get to it. I don't want to say nothing about it. So
I thought
But
he was gonna come and he was gonna do a music video that I could be in with him. I was
we'll do
excited
it.
for
It'll
this thing I was
happen.
making up in my head. Um,
Just put it out into the universe that it'll happen, and it'll happen.
if you're in the audience right now, Carson, come and make a music video with me, so that way I can co-star with you. I think we'd look great on camera together. So,
He would love it. He would. I'm telling. I can answer for you. He'll do it. You just got to get him here. So.
oh, he's busy acting in Europe
Ooh,
anyway.
that's
So
true. He's in some crazy A-lister Norwegian stuff, so it's just wild. But I think he's doing some more shit. But I don't. I'm not. I need to stop talking. That's what it is.
it's his stuff to talk about. Don't worry. I do see that in the comments. Tim has talked about how you're trying to bring back VHS after he spent years transferring VHS to DVD. So,
Well, the thing that I wanted to do is I always imagine the sex tape, like my music videos from that being on a VHS. Like the cover art is literally a VHS tape and the cover for it, because a lot of porn, 80s porn was on a sex tape. Like that's what sex tapes were on, gay porn. So I have looked into how to reverse engineer it, and it's complicated, but I think I can make it happen if I had the money.
uh,
And maybe 10 people would buy it, but I just want to do it because I think it'd be awesome,
did
right?
you ever
Like,
meet the because I know that John's a big friends with them, the Monster Makeup people? Did you ever meet them? Brandon from Providence, and
I don't think I don't think so.
they were in
Uh,
Bear World a couple times, so I wasn't sure if you had met them or not.
I've probably seen their articles, but I don't know if I
Because
remember.
I know I believe they released VHS of Death Rap Gorgeous.
Oh,
So I can probably figure out. I can talk to them and see how they did it, so that way
I know how to do it, but it's really interesting. You have to like, I'd have to put it on the TV and then also have a DVR recorder and then record over an old. That's like this is one way I could do it. Record over an old VHS. So you might like have if you end up getting the sex tape on a VHS one day, you might end up seeing 25 minutes of my music videos, and then all of a sudden it's like the second half of Home Alone or something like.
Hey, I mean that's kind of what like a classic porn would be, isn't it? From like the back in the day. I don't know really.
I think it'd just be cool. I just want to do it. I don't think many people would buy it. I just think physical media is very important to remember as part of our history in our community. As far as zines go, I had a whole zine planned for this rollout, and I never did it because shit hit the fan. So, but I think physical media is very important for us to bring back. I think we should be bringing it back. That's why I'm like, give me a DVD. I want it even if I don't have a DVD player, I guess the PS5, but I want it. You know, I want physical media. I think everything's
Some of the team are
digital.
very much like, why are you doing Blu-rays of your movies? And nobody's going to buy them. I'm like, well, some people will buy them, first of all. Second of all, it's kind of nice to have a physical copy of the film that I made. I think that's nice. Nakia
Yeah,
made this that I haven't used for anything yet, but this is the VHS cover of A Taste of Youth. So
I want that. Like, please, please. Oh my God, I want that.
I'm a huge fan of this. I'm going to put it on something. I don't know. I'll probably put it on a T-shirt or something, but I do love it.
I'm obsessed. I would buy that T-shirt too. And the pins were awesome. Thank you for the pin. That's
I
so
love the
cool.
pins. The pins. I'm so grateful to Vlock for making these lovely pins of A Taste of Youth.
I
Uh,
like that you have it handy. It's
I
like
have everything handy, right? Well, not really. I just have this pin here for some reason. I have nothing else handy. But
it's so cool though. I love that pen and I love the movie. I love all the work that you do. And I think one really cool thing about your work as well is you can see a lot of progression and learning that from like your first works from Skeleton Crew season one all the way to now. It's like seeing how much everything has improved over time and living and learning. It's really awesome. And now you're like going to like film award things. Like it's like but it's cool. Like honestly, the Taste of Youth was a really good movie. I'm really I honestly forgot that we even did that to be honest. And then when you emailed me, I was like, oh my god, we did do that. That's crazy. And then I had blue hair. I'm like, where did that
you
come
did
from?
have blue hair. You were in the background with your bright blue hair, and you couldn't stay longer that day, so you had to rush out. But we just had you long enough to do a quick scene with you in the background. I forget why you were rushing out. You were probably off to do some sort of
I
fun
feel like
thing.
I think I was going to the studio with Will. I think I went to record actually. So
Probably, yeah. But
completely random, but I'll do it again. Anytime you want me to be a selfie taker guy, I got you.
We will make sure of that happening. I think I think I even put you on IMDb, but I'm not sure if I did.
I don't know. It's fine if you didn't, but
I'll have to check. If I didn't, I have to add it because I may have only done like the initial like entry for an IMDb. But oh my
Selfie
goodness, I
taker
didn't
guy.
even realize what time it was. It's 8 o'clock.
Yes.
We have been having such a good time, Bryce, that we ran out of time. So,
Well, you're always
Bryce,
fun to chat with.
you are always fun to chat with as well. But before we go, where can people find your remix of Sex Tape?
Whatever you stream music on, or if you don't have a streaming platform, go to YouTube. Just look up my name, Bryce Quartz, wherever it is right here. Anywhere you look up my name, it's there. You could literally just put it on Google, and there's a Google page for me. So, may I make
Well,
it easy for you if you want to listen to
that is
it?
fantastic that you make it so simple for us. I appreciate that. I did make it simple and for you to find most of my stuff until Disney decided to put out their own version of Skeleton Crew. So
Wow,
so
that's really,
now
you
Disney has all the algorithms pointing to them, of course. So
need to sue.
if only. But then Stephen King might sue me because his book Skeleton Crew was out before me, and then
Oh,
there's a whole list of things. I learned after this is something I did learn after Skeleton Crew was to look and see what things were called before you make them. So
that's
that way
valid.
you see what else is out there that way. And that's one of the reasons why we made a name change for A Taste of Youth, because there was a lot of things called Wasted on the Young, and which was the original name of the script. And we switched it to A Taste of Youth because no one had named this that. So
That's
uh,
interesting. Wow, I didn't know that. I like A Taste of Youth, though. I like it.
I do too.
It has a ring.
It does. I like Wasted on the Young just because it has a nice flow to it, but A Taste of Youth is I think more appropriate for this film. So, um,
I like
but
it.
anyway, Bryce, thank you so much for joining me tonight. I am so grateful.
Thank you for having me. It means a lot to me you'd even have me on here.
I am thrilled. I want to support you putting out a remix of your album, EP, and also I know how much you've been working this year on just getting by day to day, and I think that even doing all that and still working on putting out a remix, you're an awesome guy, and I'm so excited for you, and I'm so glad to know you, and I am so glad to work with you whenever I can. So
Don't make me cry. It's the end. Don't like.
I have to make you
I get
cry at the end.
emotional.
That's the goal, is to make people cry, and that's what I do. I want you to cry from fear or happiness or joy, whatever that can make you cry from, especially
Oh, I
fear.
forgot you're a filmmaker. My bad.
I'm a
That's what
filmmaker. I'm recording
you
this
want
right
people
now.
to feel
It's
things.
live. I need you to
Well,
express
I'm going to
yourself.
throw it back at you because I'm very thankful for you and your friendship and your support since I first got introduced to you and became your friend. You've been a very kind person and you've built a community that is very supportive to not only your work but everything that everyone that you share within your community. I'm very thankful for you and everyone that I've met through you is just always a joy. So, thank you for being my friend. It means a lot
You're
to me.
welcome. It means a lot to me as well to have you as my friend. So everyone, we've had a wonderful love fest tonight between me and Bryce. And I encourage you all to please go out and listen to the original version of Sex Tape and the remix because they're both out there. And Bryce is super talented. His lyrics are definitely not safe for work, but then most of the things I do are not either. So if you're watching my movies, you're probably fine to listen to his songs. But if you
There's
watch his
clean
music
versions.
videos, yes, watch his music videos in the right environments, I'd say.
Yes.
And you said you have clean versions, I think. Clean versions, I think.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're clean.
So
Yeah.
I don't think I've listened to the clean versions of Daddy Dick, but
It's interesting, you know. You know what I'm
how,
saying, but
how do you change the title then? For because Daddy
I
Dick
think
is
I
not.
just put it as Daddy
There we go. And what's Crime Pirate's clean version?
Pirate.
Ah, you're so creative and clever.
Yeah. There was no clean version of Fuck though, which is the last song. I don't think that's possible.
That would be hard, I think. So, well, it's important for it to be hard if you're doing that. But anyway. All right, Bryce. Have a wonderful night. Happy New Year, everybody. I will see you all next Monday. And have a wonderful, wonderful day.
That's the T.